Like Des Linden says, keep showing up. And as Shalane Flanagan likes to say, you never know when you're going to have your moment, but you will get your turn if you stay at it long enough. That said, there are a lot of things within running and training that have the potential to help you succeed and be the runner that you want to be. But out of all those things, I must say that consistency is probably the most important. A lot of the foundation that runners need to succeed and to improve simply comes from getting out the door day after day, week after week, month after month, and year after year. It isn't just one workout or one run that makes you successful. It is the buildup of all the runs and all the workouts that you do over time that helps you be successful in this endurance sport. So the first part of consistency that is especially important is the steady and foundational base of miles that you have under your feet. These miles are run at an easy aerobic pace. By getting out the door and putting time on your feet, your tendons, ligaments, muscles, and bones all adapt to running and pounding. When your body is able to adapt to all of the running and the pounding, it enables you to go even further without any injury. And then with this aerobic base, you will then in turn be able to add more variety and quality to your runs. By quality and variety, I mean higher mileage, more running workouts, more races, and more PRs. A really good friend of mine always reminds me of this awesome metaphor when it comes to running and consistency. You want to think of your running and your training as a brick wall. And this brick wall is serving as the foundation to your running career. Every time you consistently go out for a run or complete a workout, another brick is added to that wall. Some days it might be only one brick, some days it might be 5 bricks, some days it might be 10 bricks added to your wall. The point is that if you keep showing up, your wall is only going to become stronger, taller, and sturdier. The goal is to build the strongest wall that you can, which will benefit you in the long term. But it is important to note that building the strongest wall includes a smart approach to your training. So that being said, it's so important to keep in mind that there is a cyclical component that comes with consistency. Within consistency comes rest days, recovery days, and periods of time off completely with no running. Breaks are completely necessary for health, longevity, and sustainability, and it's a big part of consistency and the importance of it. I just wanted to throw that out there just in case it gets lost in the message of this video. So although I'm saying keep showing up and it's all your runs added together that means success, within that you have to remember to take care of all of the details so you can continue to be consistent in the long term and you're not hitting road bumps to set you back. When you are feeling down or unmotivated, kind of just bad about your training, I want you to try to keep this brick wall in mind. Honestly, I have been really frustrated lately, and I'm partly selfishly making this video for me and for my accountability. Consistency is something that I have struggled with probably throughout my entire running career, especially since my last couple years in college. Always hitting setbacks, whether it was low ferritin levels, mental health issues, a little flare up in an injury, nothing too serious thankfully, but something that just knocks me out for a couple days, and then sickness as well. Especially lately, these past couple weeks, I've been having a hard time just finding my groove again and finding momentum that I need to keep training. And it's really tempting to take a day off and, you know, take a complete break from running when I recently just had one, so I really don't need one for my training. Obviously I have rest days every week and I'm making sure I'm taking care of those details as well. I'm just really frustrated that consistency seems to be my weakness right now, and I know that it's so important to be able to stack the weeks on top of each other, and I'm having a hard time doing that. So I'm partially making this video to kind of reassure myself that, you know, just get out the door and put in the effort, put in the work. Even if you're feeling unmotivated, sometimes it's just getting those miles and the time under your feet that will still make a difference in the big picture. For instance, yesterday I ran 10 miles and I felt really bad, but knowing that I still got out there and put in those 10 miles, even though I was feeling pretty shitty, I'm still adding to my brick wall. Additionally, you know, last week I actually had a really good, 5 days of training, and that's also adding even more to my brick wall. I just know, and I wanted to reiterate, that consistency over time is essential to becoming successful in the sport of running. Sometimes it doesn't even feel like it in the moment when you're showing up and kind of feeling no progress. I promise that in the long term, the consistency of always showing up for yourself is gonna pay off. This also goes for people who might be running for the first time in their lives. Running is hard, especially when you come from not running your entire life. But as you continue to build that foundation again underneath your legs, it gets easier and easier, And then like I was saying before, you can then start to implement more variety and more intensity to your runs. You also want to keep in mind that consistency for you might look different versus someone else. I was just listening to a podcast with Colleen Quigley, I'll link it down below, and she was saying that for her, 85 to 100 miles a week always leads to her breaking down at some point within her training cycle. Meanwhile, her teammates are always going there for their afternoon doubles, putting in that mileage because that's what works for them. But for her, hopping on the bike or taking the afternoon completely off is what is gonna help her connect all of the runs and all of the weeks together with little to no setbacks. So just like Colleen and Des Linden and Shalane Flanagan and all the other runners, I am working here to build my sturdiest and strongest brick wall. And I just gotta remember to keep showing up, and I hope you remember to keep showing up as well, because you're working to build your strongest wall and your sturdiest wall as well. Like I always like to reiterate in my videos, longevity and sustainability is the goal in running for as long as happy and healthy as at least I can. If you have any other thoughts or questions about consistency and other important factors in running and training, definitely feel free to leave them in the comments below. I would love to know. And as always, thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, don't forget to click that like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I will see you next week in my next video, but until then, go out, get some time under your feet, and happy running.